All right, welcome back to Paranormal Bad Bitches. Now, today we are going over the Queen Mary ship, and this is one of Lydia's favorite stories, so I had to do it for her. Now, if you don't know yet, we do have our podcast out. Anywhere you want to listen. It'll be Tuesdays and Fridays, and we're really excited. You'll be able to hear all the stories like the Queen Mary, along with all of the horror stories that we find on Reddit. Now, so we are taking listener write-ins, and if you guys want your stories shared, please send them to Paranormal, Paranormal BB write-in, WRITEIN @gmail.com, and you guys can get your stories posted on our channel. And it would be really awesome if you guys sent those in, because we need Reddit stories, and I would love to tell stories of the people that take their time and their effort to watch our videos, and you guys would be first priority, okay? The Queen Mary ship. Let's go. All right, it was built in 1933 and nicknamed the Glasgow boat. All right, now having sailed daily from Broomielaw during the outbreak of Second World War, the steamer known as the Queen Mary II at the time became a lifeline for Scotland's island communities. While other vessels were commandeered to sweep for mines and other military tasks, this one was maintained as a vital passenger and freight service between the mainland and the islands. As of October 31st of 1967, the Queen Mary ship stopped sailing, and there have been 49 reported deaths on the ship. But whether it was passengers or crew, the 49 deaths on the ship. And the official statistics say that the hotel is haunted by 130 entities. At least. Okay. Now, we'll get a little bit more into it later, but there are a couple of portals or, vortexes on the ship, which is why there's so many. But it's also been through, hell, so fair enough. Now, since the ship was moved to Long Beach, California, several employees and quite a number of guests have experienced seeing ghostly creatures and hearing mysterious sounds. And cool thing that's completely different, but something that I found out is the Princess Royal ship, which was named after the Queen Mary, announced that change of direction, that the 89-year-old vessel is due to return to active service in the summer of 2024, which is really cool to always see old stuff go back out and yes, go bad bitch, go. Locations that are known to be haunted on the Queen Mary. We're going to start with the engine room. Now, one of the absolute hits in this room is Mr. Petter. Now, they used to have a game. I don't know if you guys have heard about number 13, door number 13. They used to have a game that they would start to seal the doors, and they would take turns running to see how many times they could get through the door before it sealed shut. And unfortunately, Mr. Petter did not make it all the way through. And keep in mind, these are watertight doors. So if the ship ever has a breach in any portion of the ship, they can close it off and just keep it in that portion so it doesn't sink the rest of the ship. He got stuck in the door and he died. Now, a lot of people can still see a bearded ghost in blue overalls walking towards door 13 and then simply vanishing. Now, they call him Half-Hatch Harry, but his real name is John Petter. Another place known to be haunted is the swimming pool. It's believed that people have drowned there, but there's not a single passenger death due to drowning listed on the ship's log, so they can't confirm if that's actually true or not. There are numbers of exclusively female ghosts in the first class pool area and in the second class pool area. The most popular ones are the ghost of an elderly woman. She's in her 60s or 70s, and she's dressed in white and black, and a little girl whose name is Jackie. Does it start with an S? Fun fact. I feel like all girl names start with an S now. When they're little ghost girls, they start with an S. This one's Jackie. She had drowned during a TA crossing, but she is also seen in many other places across the Queen Mary. A supervisor lady and her co-worker heard strange sounds in the pool area, like a little girl was playing and splashing there. But then the splashing stopped, but they still heard the giggling, and then they saw wet kid footprints start leading to the changing room. No thanks. I'm good. The women changing room. Now, these are cramped and it's dark, and there's numerous tiny rooms lined up on both sides. They are located in the back of the pool, and they are said to hold like a swirling vortex of negative energy. Yeah, so there's something like a dimensional gateway, and it like apparently produces like really heavy feelings, which has been detected by several psychics. Now, some say this could be due to the woman who was raped in here at one point, but they have no documentation on this, so they can't prove if it actually happened or not. Now, the empty boiler room. These are massive and creepy and are now used as part of the Ghost and Legend show with their own ghost stories. Now, when the Queen Mary was docked at Long Beach, all of her boilers were removed, so it's just the empty boiler room. The Caraco ship, I don't know if I'm saying that right, I'm sorry. It's either Caraco or Caracao. I'm going to call it Caraco. The Caraco ship disaster and cargo hold area called Bronson's Locker. Another place with lots of noisy deaths of crew members. During World War II, the Queen Mary ship was actually sailing in a zigzag motion to try to evade the Nazis, and they accidentally collided with one of their escort boats, which was the HMS Caraco, and it sliced it in half, and unfortunately the boat sank with all 300 members on it. Now, the bow area was seriously damaged, and obviously sometimes scream can be heard along with the eerie sounds of metal tearing, pounding on the walls, and water rushing in. Now, it just kind of reminds me of the Titanic, but like, if you picture like your boat sinking and you're stuck on it, like the amount of just hysteria, like, oh, could you imagine? Like, you would feel so stuck too. Now, another place that's known to be haunted is the Winston Churchill stateroom. Some say they can still smell cigar smoke in this room. And this part is awesome. This is what I aspire to be when I'm his age. He planned the D-Day invasion by playing with toy ships in his bathtub while taking a bath. I stand by that 100%. Now, the old kitchen. During World War II, a cook was murdered there by troops aboard the Queen Mary that did not like his cooking. They stuffed him into an oven and burned him to death, which explains why his screams can still be heard around this place. Yeah, that sounds like a terrible way to go. Could you imagine getting stuffed into an oven and then burned alive? Just because your cooking was bad? Jesus. And they say women are emotional. Now, the morgue, obviously, is known to be haunted. There were 49 officially reported deaths on the ship, and this is where their bodies were taken, so nothing crazy about that. Some other places that are known to be haunted before we get to room B340 is the Queen's Salon. There's a ghost of a woman dressed in white. Shocker. You know how I feel about that. First class suites. A ghost of a man dressed in a 30s black suit. The third class nursery, still full of authentic kids' toys, where the kids are playing around occasionally and crying. So, like, you can still hear, like, children. The second class swimming pool, it has its own ghost of a drowned woman, a very pale lady in a blue dress from the 1940s, dark hair and no makeup on. But there's no documented drownings. Well, unless you're my brother. Cabin B340. Now, it's the most infamous room on the ship and is no longer being rented out, unfortunately. So the reason that it's not rented out anymore is because there's so much paranormal activity and disturbances in this room, and guests have claimed it to be haunted by the ghost of a murdered staff member. Faucets turning on by themselves and bed sheets flying across the room is what tends to happen in there. And like, I don't know if you guys have ever seen like a couple of different YouTubers go there, but it's pretty crazy. The hotel management also keeps other items like a Ouija board, crystal ball, directions for Bloody Mary, and other encounters from past experiences. I feel like the Ouija board should just not be in there, but that's just me. All right, now, some fun facts about the ship. This ship is a drain on energy. So any kind of like electronics you bring will come in fully charged in a matter of minutes will be dead. So like all of the energy just literally is just sucking it right out.
That's what she said?
Digital cameras often do not function properly. They flash without taking a picture, and then suddenly after that, they just start working again. And some ghost searchers do occasionally hear, see, or feel something, experience some of the normal paranormal activity symptoms like dizziness, nausea, heat, cold flashes, really anything like that you start to feel off, that's what they start to feel. So yeah, that's it. Be sure to follow. If you liked the video, please like it to let us know. If you didn't like it, comment down below to see what we can improve on. If you would be awesome, you could subscribe, which would mean a lot to me and Lydia. And we do have our podcast out, so feel free to go check it out if you'd like to listen to some of our videos without having to worry about watching it on YouTube. I am just so excited to see where this goes, and I'm just happy to have you guys on this journey with us. So let's get to filming. Peace.